You made it. You beat EA. Beautiful souls. What is For Honor's uninstall rate? I'm gonna assume for every single player in For Honor, 99% of you have uninstalled this game, only to be drawn back by more toxicity and disappointment. Mainly because you don't love yourself. I really believe the For Honor community needs to heal. It's got so much trauma and baggage. Warframe is healing. And Overwatch is finally healing. Gaming as a whole is becoming a much better and safer place. Now, you've all heard me say we should delete the Outlander faction, but until this day, I never thought Ubisoft would actually have the galls to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, Ocelotl has been deleted. This was only due to like a game-breaking bug where you could go invisible after dying and still hit players. It took them 1 day to remove this hero from the game. Imagine if they could remove the entire Outlander faction, or maybe just even Hitakiri. Heck, I'll even take them removing Oathbreaker, a feat. Just imagine it. Wouldn't our lives be so much easier? I asked my community if you guys are actually having fun with For Honor right now, and all the comments crack me up. Even though like 99% of you already have depression, and you're 97.8% in denial. A new hero like Sohei with the one-shot ability really isn't gonna change that. It seems like some of you might need to see a professional, or you need the SWAT team to come get you out of that Stockholm Syndrome situation. How do I know that? Well, because I have 99 insight, and I'm self-aware enough to know that I'm also in danger. But realistically, that's not going to stop me. But the thing is, this video might save you guys from unending torture that you probably may or may not deserve. Except for all the dirty pirate mains out there. You guys, there's a special place in hell for you, because quite frankly, even Sleepy Joe could play that character at an optimal level. In this video, I'm going to answer the question, should you uninstall For Honor? For Honor has had a steady player count of about 3,000 players for the past 8 years. Yes, we had a ton of players actually join us, especially during launch, but as you can see here, a lot of the players dropped down to 1,000 because Ubisoft refused to fix the servers, disconnections, and that meant that you would not get your XP even in duels. And as you can see here on August 2018, that is when the CCU dropped, the core combat update that changed the entire game. But even after making offense slightly better, the game still continues to dwindle and die. There are times I am molding and ripping my hairs out depending on what the lead developer says about their own game.
We haven't had players that are heroes that are really good at ganking in a while. This hero has like the strongest ganking.
Blood actually forgot about the entire Outlander faction. Some of these reasons may trigger you and give you potentially PTSD while watching this video, so I implore you to please watch at your own discretion. There is no multiverse where you are happy with yourself while you are playing this game, because you know for a fact the friend who invited you to play this dumpster fire of a game with them is not even playing anymore, and they also invited you just to see you suffer. They hate themselves as much as they hate you. That is a fact. Count yourselves lucky if you still have friends to play with to this day. The solo queue experience is an actual unending nightmare experience. You're basically in the eclipse, and I really wouldn't wish it on my worst enemies, except for the Orochi mains out there. This game is 8 years old at the time of making this video, and to this day, still has never fixed the servers. My day-to-day basis is usually picking a mid-tier character like maybe Warden, Raider, Centurion, Shaman as well. Even of course playing Lawbringer from time to time just to torture myself, and over the course of many games, I'd say usually I'm stuck with one bot on the team and I'm forced to actually try my hardest to try to win the game because there's no backfill coming. And this is honestly the point where I finally start cracking, because why am I trying so hard to win a 2v4 or even a 3v4? That's a good looking question, Timmy. Well, it's because I'm trying to get some nasty plays and show off my skill, because I can make some insane reads and impress the people that I'm fighting. But sadly, most players in this game are incredibly egotistical, so you're not impressing nobody. It's really just not worth the sanity. But I'm honestly really glad I have you guys so that you can pat me on the back. It's the only game I've ever played where I'm constantly disconnected towards the end of the fight and never getting any teammates to backfill to help me win against the 4 pirates or 4 Orochis on the other side. Frankly, I'd rather just go play Overwatch, because at least that game is healing and simply due to them actually pulling their heads out of their asses and adding 6v6 back, which was a huge staple in Overwatch. A lot of people are going to come back to that, I can guarantee you. Perhaps in the future though, Lawbringer will be getting his shove on block back, or at least let us impale on heavy parry. And for those who have been living under a rock, Ubisoft gutted Lawbringer's damage, took away his ability to impale somebody on heavy parry, the stun on his tap and top heavy, and made him into a generic unblockable heavy finisher character. And to this day, he still doesn't have a light heavy chain. And I really don't even want to talk about the roll catcher because they are planning to do it, just simply years later. And it might just be too late for some people. I am going to be dead by the time they actually balance this game and give Lawbringer an actual rework.
What did we learn, Palmer?
I don't know, sir.
I don't fucking know either. I guess we learned not to do it again.
Yes, sir.
I'm fucked if I know what we did.
Oh wait, I almost forgot, they reworked Conqueror too, and I put that away in my mind somewhere deep and dark so that I would never have to remember it again, but unfortunately he is part of the roster still. They probably should just delete him in my opinion. This goes the same for my Aramusha rework, and of course the Orochi rework where they deleted his heavy deflect, which was one of the biggest skill expressions in the entire game. Thanks Ubisoft. Now new players always come to my stream and ask me, what hero should I play? Well, that's a good looking question, Timmy. Firstly, if you want to get stepped on by big women with big sword or big axe, then this is the game for you. Secondly, what I usually tell them is to look at my tier list, as you will see all of the high tier fashion that I personally run. And then even after you realize that war mommers exist, you will still decide to pick an inferior character, unfortunately. Regardless though, you'll pick a hero you like the most when it comes to the fashion, because when you actually play the game, it won't matter because Ubisoft is going to fuck you in some way, shape, or form. Balancing a game is no easy feat, and I do have sympathy for the devs that tried to balance this game when there were tons of exploits back in the day. Still, there are a few like Zerker's unlock tech that was nerfed. I'm just kidding, it's barely nerfed. Gosh. Don't be surprised when this happens to you. For Honor players have always found a way to make a character even more egregious to fight against. They'll do anything to get themselves an upper hand in battle. Let's just admit it. I think single pick is gonna be a great thing because we have all endured 4 Rochis, 4 Hitakiris, 4 Pirates. It sucks. And most importantly, 4 Black Priors, or at least 2 Black Priors. You wanna know why? Because Oathbreaker exists. It takes away the ability to actually get that satisfying moment you can get with For Honor that I know that most players actually want to play the game for. When you survive that 1v2, that 1v3, and 1v4, my god, I think I'm just gonna freaking compile all of the fun anti-ganks that I get, which I usually do on my channel. Honestly, I'm just gonna go ahead and list some characters off that plain and simple exist, and that's a problem for the For Honor player base, okay? All of the Outlanders, Pirate, Medjay, Afir, Ocelotl, Varangian Guard, the Bird Flu faction, the 2 little rats that always run away when they're half HP, the heavy character, no really, this character really only uses heavy attacks, straight males who think being with the femboy isn't gay, and then we have Nobushi who is literally untouchable in 4v4, and can also stack bleeds and bleeds upon you, but who are we kidding? For Honor players aren't going to be touching real women anyways, they'll just be touching their body pillow waifus. Sohei's one-shot ability that is quite interactive and a rewarding experience for all of us. And then of course Berserk, who just has hyper armor on literally every single move. Highlander is also an absolute monster too, because for some reason he still has chain finisher heavies that are 600 MS and have hyper armor. And lastly, this clown who literally just sits at point C and tries to ledge you, then proceeds to teabag you. I'm not gonna lie, this is a pretty fun thing to do. Next up is gendered characters. Yes, I want Blackbeard, I want Jack Sparrow for my pirate. It's great that we get a Chinese pirate, but I ask, what audience are we catering to here when we add a Chinese pirate? This isn't Disney where they cut off Finn from the entire poster when they try to sell Star Wars to Chinese people. You can put Blackbeard in For Honor, but I just want to tiptoe around in a funny fashion like Jack Sparrow, because every time I pick a crazy girl, shit always hits the fan. And don't forget what Ubisoft took away from us, female Kyoshin. And I'm sure a lot of you neckbeards out there who love the Viking faction are pretty upset about female Varangian Guard. But I get it, you're just letting your inner misogyny show. Since that's the easiest insult to hurl at someone next to being an incel. But seriously, sometimes I just want to play as a high T motherfucker who is literally on 10,000 milligrams of tren. And that's why most people play Lawbringer, because you're absolutely a huge man that's going to body your opponent. Gender swap much? I think Ubisoft is taking a book from Marvel right now. MCU? More like or on her. You know what I'm saying, boys? Yeah. This one hurts me on the insides really deeply. Minion clear animations. They took this out when they added the Wulin, because one reason is that they didn't want to animate all of the new animations to kill the minions. And there was 4 new characters that came out of the woodworks, okay? I was surprised as you were when they announced the trailer. It was the most hype that we have ever seen the For Honor player base. But they decided to scrap the entire thing, remove all of the minion animations, and my gosh, it was a turn for the worse, because we started to see that there was going to be a lot less animations that were unique to characters, more reused animations, especially during the lockdowns. The only way to view these cool animations are to either go to a YouTube video or play them in the story mode, because most of the characters there aren't reworked and it's just old vanilla For Honor, which is a nice experience to see in my opinion. Not only do these minion clear animations give depth, personality, and unique qualities to For Honor the game itself, it cares that the artist and the developers actually care how the game looks and feels. Honestly, it's a nice break going into the minion lane and seeing those cool animations, because the rest of the game you're just gonna see Pirate, an Orochi, and a Zerker dodge cancel around you, and you will see nothing else except for orange flying at your face. Now, the point of this video is that if you want to uninstall For Honor, you should. But if you want to stay and be in a toxic relationship, let the toxicity flow through you. There is a reason why people always say that the game is only fun with friends, because when you play by yourself, it's actual torture, and it's probably something that the FBI uses to torture the terrorists. Forget waterboarding, those are the old tactics, just play For Honor. I will ask you, do you feel like you are trapped in a situation where you cannot leave? Is it really worth your sanity to have one of the best fashions in the entire game just to simply get beat down 24/7? Some would say yes, others may say no. I would say, please God, help me now. I'm so glad I have Ghost of Tsushima to keep me occupied. So what say you? Have you had enough of For Honor's cock and ball torture? And are you finally ready to move on? As someone who is extremely passionate about For Honor, has been supporting it for the past 7 to 8 years, I don't want this game to die. I just want it to improve, have a larger player base, but Ubisoft is actively working against us when it comes to growing the player base. A lot of the charm in For Honor has been taken away simply just for the sake of making the game easier to work with. For Honor is definitely getting better in a lot of areas, but am I willing to wait that long, and should you wait that long? That's the question here. This video is just one of the reasons why I have my imposter syndrome acting up all the damn time. And when I finally talked to my therapist on the trauma that For Honor has inflicted on me, I think I'm finally ready to heal. That is, if I survive after getting stage 3 cancer from playing this godforsaken game. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you liked what I do here, go ahead and leave me a thumbs up and a comment if you are experiencing the same type of things that I do. And more good stuff like this coming out very soon. Bye-bye. See you later.